Hello there and welcome to a brand new lesson. This is How Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. In this lesson, we want to look at change of subject and our focus will be on brackets. Without much ado, let's quickly look into it. So if you quite remember, in our previous lesson, we looked at the basic steps we need to take when we want to change the subject. Specifically, we focused on how to undo operations. So we said to undo an additive operation, what you do is you subtract. And also to undo a multiplication operation, what you do is you divide. We are building on these same ideas. When it comes to brackets or expressions containing brackets, so building up on that idea, when it comes to expressions or formulas containing brackets, if the bracket is multiplied, all we do is we divide first before expanding. Take note, you divide first before expanding. So you only expand the bracket when it is necessary. Let's take some practical examples so that we'll get to understand what I'm talking about. So for our very first example here, as we can see, it says given P equals 2 into bracket L plus B, we have to make L the subject. How do we go about it? It says P equals 2 into bracket L plus B. Now, in as much as some might suggest that you multiply through so that you open the bracket, that is not a smart way to go about it. The first thing you should do is to divide. So as I said, you don't expand the bracket if it is not necessary. So first of all, divide both sides by what is multiplying the bracket. So that it becomes P over 2 equals 2 into bracket L plus B over 2. So with that, this 2 divides this 2. And we would be left with P over 2, which is equal to L plus B. Now we want to make L the subject. That is to make L stand on its own. The obstacle we have here is a positive B. The inverse operation of positive is negative. And to apply the inverse, we'll do that to both sides. That is both to the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So that we have P over 2 minus B, which will then be equal to L plus B minus B as well. In this case, minus B takes off the plus B, so that will be left with our P over 2 minus B, which is then equal to L. And that is L being made the subject. So it simply implies that L is equal to P over 2, then minus B. That is all. I suggested that it isn't necessary you expand. Even though you might not get a different answer, as I said, it is not always the best approach. You can try on your own with the expansion and then rearrange your answer to this form. Let's take some few more examples. For this second question here, you realize it's just as similar to what we just did. You've been given y equals a into bracket x plus 4. That is y being equal to a into bracket x plus 4. And what we want to make the subject, we want to make x the subject. That is this x over here. We want it to stand on its own. So how do we do that? So the first thing I'll suggest we do is to take away this a, which is an obstacle to the bracket. So we have y equals a into bracket x plus 4. And what do we need to do? We divide both sides by the a, so that the a cancels out the a, that it divides it. And on the left hand side, we'll be having y over a, which is then equal to, we have no coefficient here because that's been cancelled and we have just 1. So that 1 opens the bracket and we have x plus 4. What do we need to do? Take away this obstacle, which is a positive 4. We do that by subtracting 4 from both sides. So that we have y over a minus 4, which is then equal to x plus 4 minus 4. This remains y over a minus 4. But on the right hand side, we have 4 minus 4, which gives us 0. Hence, we are left with just this x over here. In making x the subject, it simply implies that our x is equal to y over a minus 4. You realize that we've been able to make x the subject. With these two examples we have solved, the coefficient of the variable we want to make the subject is always 1. Let's look at cases where the coefficient will be any other number apart from 1, and we would need to further divide. So for this next question, it says c equals 3 into bracket 2x plus 5, and we have to make x the subject. For this particular example, we are going to use both methods. That is expanding the bracket before simplifying, and then just going straight forward with what you've already done. So for the first one, let's choose to expand the bracket. Expanding the bracket, we have c equals 3 into bracket 2x plus 5. Now, 3 multiplies 2x, and it also multiplies 5. So that we have c equals 3 times 2x gives us a 6x. And then 3 times 5 gives us a positive 15. What do we need to make the subject at x? So isolating our 6x, we have c minus 15 being equal to 6x. That is, we are subtracting 15 from both sides. If you do that to this right hand side, this gives us 0. And that is why I didn't write it here. Making our x the subject simply means we'd have to divide both sides by the number 6. Now 6 is the obstacle we have here. So divided by 6 and then divided by 6. Hence 6 divides 6 once, and we have x being isolated. So c minus 15 over 6 gives us our x, which then implies that our x is equal to c minus 15 over 6, our final answer. But if you chose to divide straightforward, let's see how that is going to be. So we have c equals 3 into bracket 2x plus 5. So as we said, we are going to divide each and every side by the number 3, as 3 is the obstacle to the bracket, as you can see. So we divide by 3 and also divide by 3. This 3 cancels out to this 3. And with that, we'll be left with c over 3 on the left-hand side equals 2x plus 5. That is, after this cancels this, there will be nothing left. So with that, we want to make our x the subject. Hence, we need to move the 5. Moving the 5, we have c over 3 minus 5 is equal to 2x. The next step is to divide both sides by 2, because 2 is the obstacle and it is what multiplying. That is why we need to divide. So divided by 2, and all of this also divided by 2. With that, this 2 cancels out this 2. And what do we have? We have c over 3 minus 5 all over 2 is equal to our x. These are the two answers we have. Now, are they the same? What do you think? So, we'll need further simplification of this term to verify if they are the same or not. Working first on the numerator, we have c over 3 minus 5, and we know 5 is over 1. And take note, they are all over 2. So for the numerator, using our knowledge on fractions, we know the LCM of 3 and 1 is 3. So we have 3, and 3 divides 3 once. 1 times c gives us a c. 1 divides 3 thrice. 3 times 5 gives us a 15. We have c minus 15 over 3 all over 2, which is equal to x. With this, we can rewrite it as c minus 15 over 3. Then this becomes divided by 2. And we are saying it's equal to x. We know if we are dividing fractions, we can rewrite them as the first term, we change the multiplication to division, and then we flip the second fraction. So that with that, we are going to get a c minus 15 over 3. Division becomes times, then 1 over 2 is equal to x. This has now become a multiplication problem. And we know numerator multiplies numerator, and denominator also multiplies denominator. So we have c minus 15 times 1, giving us c minus 15, then over 3 times 2. 3 times 2 gives us a 6, which is equal to x. Now, if you look at the previous one we did, you realize that the answers are the same. And that is x is equal to c minus 15 over 6. So, as I said earlier on, you'd expand the bracket when necessary. As we have seen in this case, if the coefficient of the variable you are looking for, or you want to make the subject, is 1, you can easily divide. But if it is not 1, then you'd weigh the two methods and then you take the one that will be helpful. Nevertheless, if you were to use this method and then you arrived at this answer, it is still the same. It is correct. Unless you want to simplify further to this form. Let's take one last example where there would actually be fraction in the bracket. So in this last example we have here, as you can see, we have v being equal to 2 into bracket x plus 1 over 2. So how do we go about it? So as we have seen, you can use any of the methods. The coefficient of x here is 1. So using the other one will be very, very simple. That is the first one. Hence, let's choose to divide both sides by 2. If you are dividing both sides by 2, we have all this right-hand side divided by 2, and our left-hand side also divided by 2, where 2 cancels out 2. Hence, we have v minus v over 2 being equal to x plus 1 over 2. What do we want to make the subject? X. We are going to subtract half from both sides. We have v over 2 minus half, which would then be equal to x plus half minus half. So v over 2 minus 1 over 2 gives us an x, and that becomes our final answer. If you want to simplify further, you can just say your x is equal to, since both denominators are the same, you have v minus 1 all over 2. And this is our final answer. So we'll end this lesson here. But as usual, I'll leave you with some exercises. I'll write the formulas. Then in another section, I'll write the variables you have to make the subject. So here you have 6 formulas. I would want you to make the variables indicated here the subject. You just follow what we've done, and I'm sure you'll be able to do it. If there's any issue of concern, you can always let me know at the comment section. This Hub Beyond Numbers where we learn maths the easy way. See you in our next lesson, and bye for now.